Okay, I'm gonna try this.
Okay, you ready?
Yes,
All right. Well, welcome. I'm Don.T.Neeley. This is,
I'm Grae Drake.
we're going to do a little interview today. Hopefully, it all is, seen. we're trying some new things here.
Yes,
Uh,
technical difficulties.
we just had a few, just a few, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and scoot you over. People are going to see my screen for a second. All right. I had some questions for you. First one, you have a background in theater. Would you
Yes,
like
I
to
do.
tell me about your favorite shows you've been part of?
Okay, I love doing larger than life characters. This is a little bit of a different character for me. Haley was
Yeah.
actually closer to myself, but I have done some really outlandish roles. I was Wendy in Peter Pan. Um, My favorite, honestly, I've been like the leading lady of like the Music Man and things like that. But
Hmm.
my favorite probably was when I was the wardrobe and I had to carry, and Beauty and the Beast, and I had to carry around a big wardrobe. And I fell once. It was a huge deal. They had to reconstruct the poor wardrobe.
Oh no.
But I love, when I was in Clue, I got to fall out of a freezer with a knife in my back.
Fun
But
times.
yeah, it's just the big ones, the real fun ones. I don't have to be a lead. I just enjoy acting in general.
Okay. On the subject of, you've done table reads for obviously for multiple plays. How was this table read different than others?
Well, I knew most of the people, so that was nice. It didn't. It went so organically well because I am used to practicing with people first, even for a table read.
Hmm.
And it just happened just boom, 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 really, really well. Everybody was just getting into character, and it just kind of organically happened in a way that I haven't normally seen. So I really enjoyed that.
Oh, that's good. I have been told that my dialogue is really realistic
Yes.
and very organic, and I'm like, yes.
Honestly, it's very Buffy like in the way that
It is. It is.
it mimics the way that odd people talk.
Oh yeah.
And I love that
We,
because I am an odd person and so are you.
indeed. I love having my own way of talking, and it does carry into my writing very much. But it definitely showed in the script form. But yeah, I think everyone did a spectacular job. Cannot wait to do part two.
Yes.
Which, speaking of the script, what was it like to step into the role of Haley?
It was fun. I like I said, Haley is a lot like myself.
Hmm.
Um, I enjoy music. I'm a little bit butch sometimes. Um, and also I would totally be jamming out to music while someone's getting killed in the background and not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we jived pretty well. I was able to step in. I would ask you that, like, if you thought that I stepped into the character the way you would want, as you were the writer and the director of this.
Well, that does kind of go into my next question, but yeah, because I was going to bring up the part of Haley was written specifically with you in mind. So I did very much think of you when writing the character, and I just was curious, how does it feel to have a character built around you? Because I enjoyed writing for you.
It makes me feel like a diva. Like this was written for me.
Yeah.
I actually have a question for you on that.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we're cousins,
Yes,
and you wrote the original script a long time ago.
I did back in 2020.
Well, I remember you writing it when I was a teenager.
Oh, the original, like
The
original
original
draft.
draft.
Oh
Because
gosh, yeah,
this
that
has
was
been a
you.
brainchild of yours for a long time.
It has, and I never fully finished it before until 2020 when I sat down and wrote the entire thing. But yeah, no, when I first came up with it, yeah, I had you in mind as a teenager playing the part because I just knew that you would be perfect.
Yeah. So, what gave you the inspiration to write me as the final girl when I wasn't even acting yet?
um, I think it was because I knew there was potential there for you to be an actor. I just knew that that was where you were headed.
Oh, that was
Um,
so dramatic.
you were, and so was I. Obviously, this is
Yes.
why we get along. Um, we're not at all related. But no, I really wanted to use you because one, your scream is that of a scream queen. It is perfect, and two, I just you're one of my favorite people. I wanted to put you in a leading role of some kind, and you actually read the original script when with the original ending, which was not as nice to you. No,
To
it was
anyone.
to anyone. Yeah, it was really brutal to everybody because I was only going to do one and done. You know, so I was just like, we'll just end it, and
Kill
it'll end with
everyone.
yeah, just end with a cliffhanger. Did anyone make it? Um, but yeah, no. What inspired that was loving horror movies and wanting you to be part of that because you were too young at the time. When I first started thinking of it, I thought of you as much younger than you were, and I was just like, you weren't into horror movies then,
Yeah, but you actually inspired me to, start watching horror films.
which I love watching with you. Like you're one of the best people because when you scream, it's like oh everyone jumps, and it's spectacular. And I just love seeing your action. Like your reaction to some of the death scenes in the script was amazing. You just kept going,
Yes.
oh.
Well, they're very graphic, and I actually have a question for you on that.
Okay,
Trying to keep track of which ones I've asked you.
okay, I've got mine up. So,
Here there's some generic questions, but um, I was gonna say there's a lot of gore in your scripts,
hmm
and we all know that that can stem from being kind of a little odd yourself as a
yes,
person. So what's
yeah.
that about?
What's that about me being odd? I don't know. I've always been odd, and I love.
I originally was gonna say a little disturbed, but
I mean, that might be true as well. A little disturbed. No, whenever I got into it, again, the first draft was a little tame compared to what we ended up with. And I was like, I'm going to up the gore factor because one, I think it's fun. And two, I wanted to see everyone's reaction to it.
mhm.
And not everyone had read anything past their parts. So when we got to certain reactions, like Kendall had one of the best reactions to
Yes.
Ashlyn, which where he was oh,
Yes.
and he had a great reaction because he didn't know that it was coming, and he's not one for horror films, but he really wanted to be a part of the script read. So I was just
I'm
like,
so glad he was. He
I was
brought
too.
life to it in a way that I didn't think would
Yeah,
be
he did.
there.
Like again, going to everybody did such a spectacular job. But yeah, the reason why I went kind of graphic with you know the final cut of the script, the final screenplay, I guess, um, was again just stemming from me loving horror and the gorier the better, without going into like Saw territory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is too much
There is too
in some
much.
things.
Yeah, there
At
is.
least for me.
Yeah. Um, so I have another question for you.
Yes.
Along the lines of the script, are you excited to continue to the sequel?
Yes, I am.
Because you're one of the only people that gets to continue to the sequel.
Yes, yes. Ta-da! Um,
Our final girl makes us another appearance.
yes. I'm interested in revisiting the character and seeing how she's grown or withered, as it were, due to the events, the graphic events of the first film.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's fun. I can't wait to see how everybody reacts to it because once again, most people are not reading the entire thing; they're just reading their parts, so they don't know the twist at the end. Um,
Yes.
so
That actually leads me into one of the questions.
okay,
What is your specific film inspiration for your vision of the Hanged Man? Was there a specific film that made you think, you know what? I want to take this and run with it.
Okay, there wasn't one particular film. If people who watch the table read and listen to it, I guess, will see the different inspirations I had. Halloween was one of them. You know, the original Final Girl.
I
Um,
figured, yeah.
yeah, Halloween was a big one. Friday the 13th was another one that inspired it because you know, Cabin Out in the Woods. The Evil Dead, again, Cabin Out in the Woods, a little bit of an
Yes.
inspiration, and a little splash of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay.
Yeah, so there
Yeah.
were several inspirations.
Yeah, and that actually, whenever I was reading the ending,
Yeah, the ending especially. Uh,
because of the scream, I could have even seen the like that unhinged laughter,
yeah.
like she does in the end, um,
hmm
of Chainsaw
Well,
Massacre.
while being chased, while being slashed at, was very much inspired by that. And yeah, the very ending was very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But yeah, no, I tried to be inspired without completely ripping anything off, and I think I achieved it.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't see anything that was a mirror of
Yeah,
anything I had seen.
that's
Um,
good.
could I ask you another question?
Yeah, I have a couple more for you, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, I love the humorous elements in your writing. What keeps you putting in the comedic relief in
What
what
keeps?
would normally be a very heavy show, a
Yeah,
very heavy script?
yeah. I think it's just part of my personality leaking into my writing. Because I'm the same way in my book, which you've read part of at least. And there's a lot of humor in that, even though there's serious moments as well. I like to mix them because I don't like it to get too heavily, you know, into the sad or the depressing part, and I don't want it to be too humorous. The script for The Hangman does start off very humor forward. Certain characters, in particular, Grace is a very much a comedic character because she's a character all her own. And there's like little bits of humor, like you know the way that Lex and Noah interact. There's a little bit of humor in there because he keeps trying and she keeps shooting him down, and she's like subtle at first and then not at all. But yeah, I like to mix humor with the serious because I
Yeah.
don't like things to be too dark. You
Yeah,
know.
you need to have a little bit of fun in there to keep it from being a drudge.
Yeah, exactly. Which my next question: what was it that interested you in acting?
Okay, so spoiler alert, off screen, off stage, I'm a very shy, backward kind of person. And
What?
whenever
Never.
I, yeah, and whenever I get the chance to be someone else, I feel different and I can just, it just isn't an outlet for me to be a different person for a moment, to be strong. Like, for example, shameless plug, I'm
hmm
doing a a show currently at a local theater
hmm
where I'm playing the White Witch of Narnia,
hmm
Jadis,
Yeah.
and that is very different than the person I am. I'd like to think anyway. Um,
Oh,
that
definitely.
that I get to be commandery and in charge when normally I'm not.
hmm Yeah. That's see. I hate being the center of attention too, which is weird because I love to tell stories, but I fully
Well,
understand
I
being
didn't
afraid
say
to
that
be
I
like
don't
on
like
stage.
being as the center of attention because when it comes to acting and when I
Yeah.
have a script in front of me or I have something, a focus,
hmm
I love being the center of attention. But if I'm just me, if I'm Grae,
hmm
no.
Yeah. I understand that. Um, my next question is, well, it's kind of a bit of a question, but it's more of a statement.
Okay.
This isn't your first movie script that you've read, or your first venture into horror. Would you like to tell us about the short film that you were in?
Yes. It was in 2022, so a couple years ago. They had a director from like California and work with a local director,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up shooting a horror film at um, a local movie theater.
Yeah.
And there was an open casting call, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, go ahead and audition for this." And I didn't think that I had much of a shot, but I did get cast as the manager,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to die and off screen, unfortunately. No
Of
screams
course.
were had, but I ended up with my head in the popcorn.
Yeah,
You'll just have to see it,
it's
but
fun
it's a lot of fun, and I had a good time. It really taught me a lot about how different screen recording is in
versus
comparison to being
stage.
on stage.
Yeah, because stage is a completely different entity.
Yes, and you get a lot less chances to work on your character. You just got to go, go, go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have any other questions? Because I have one more.
I have a couple more.
Okay, go ahead.
What has been the hardest part of writing the first script and the second script and etc. and
Oh,
why?
the hardest part. Oh my goodness. I think coming up with inventive ways to kill people is the hardest part because I don't want to keep repeating myself with the same types, because that
Yeah,
gets boring.
yeah.
And I think
Emerson is very in like very inventive.
yes, it's whatever is nearby that he can use, whether it be a rope to choke someone out, a rusty knife, machete, axe, whatever he can grab and use, is whatever. He's very uh, kind of random. He doesn't have a specific weapon like a lot of our classic horror icons have. He doesn't have a particular. It's not a kitchen knife. It's not a machete all the time. It's not things like that. And so
Yeah.
yeah, the hardest part was coming up with inventive kills, and because I'm like, okay, I know when I want this character to go, but how are they going to go?
Okay.
And one of the hardest moments came when I wrote part three, where I legit cried, and we'll get to it, and you will understand because you might tear up as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Um,
hard though.
fair. Same.
Speaking
Same.
of crying, I have another question for you.
Okay. That has to do with crying.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Why do you love tragic love stories so much?
I've been asked this before. I have no idea. It's like a deep down, like deep seated love for them. I love to see, a tragic, especially a tragic love story. I love it, but not just a tragic ending. I love the very ending to be something pleasant. I don't like to end everything on tragedy. But I don't know. I think it's just part of it. Again, it's me going back to loving horror because there's always a tragic ending. The
Hmm.
love interest is either the killer or they're dead by the end. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no one ever comes out fully okay in most movies in general. No one, unless it's a romantic comedy, no one comes out fully unscathed. And
Yeah.
I think that's just part of it. Is just the media that I grew up with, and
Okay.
my core self just loving that media and those movies, those shows, and yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just like a deep
Okay.
down thing where I'm just used to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one more.
Okay, so do I.
And this is very basic, but I
Okay,
wanted to know.
basic is
I
fine.
had to know.
Okay, fair enough.
Um, what scene of the Hanged Man first script is your
Hmm.
favorite, greatest of all time, the goat, and why?
Oh, my favorite from the first one. I have a couple, because again, mostly because of the way everyone acted them and it was portrayed. I loved it. But my all-time favorite has to be Ashland's ending. Yeah, that was my favorite to write because again, I knew people were going to be like, "Oh, thank God," because
Yes.
everyone was rooting for her to go. Yeah, and I was like, I have to make it the most brutal one.
Even
You
though
know,
poor Ashlyn isn't the villain, she's an antagonist.
yeah, she's an antagonist, but everyone that's read the script was like, she deserves this more than anyone. And I'm like, she did. She very much deserved it. And yeah, that was my favorite scene to write. Another one that I liked writing was just the dialogue between, even though it was a little awkward, the dialogue between Leah and Haley. Like anytime that they have their alone dialogue, I thought that
Yeah.
was really sweet.
Yeah.
Which uh, poor Leah, but
Oh.
and Michelle did a great job. You guys both did,
Yes.
and and I was like, it's really hard for me to write flirting scenes, so it was difficult for me, but I enjoyed it at the same time because I was trying to not lean too heavily into making either character come off as slutty. I didn't want, I wanted it to be
Yeah.
subtle and just kind of sweet, and the whole thing of either one of them, thinking, are they flirting or are they just being nice? And that's where I wanted to land with it.
I
And
think you
I
definitely got there.
Okay, good, because I was worried, but I enjoyed writing that, and I enjoyed writing Ashlyn's final scene. It was epic.
Yes.
And there are some pretty brutal ones in part two. Yeah, so um, but yeah, I had one final question for you,
Hmm.
and it is, what is your dream role on stage or in film? What would be your dream role?
I have a lot
You have a
of
lot.
dream roles, but I think honestly, one on stage that I would love so much
Hmm.
is to play Fuma Sarah from Fiddler on the Roof, who is a ghost
Oh.
who comes back in a dream sequence. And she is, and I don't know why I love Fiddler on the Roof so much. I'm not Jewish. But but I love Fiddler on the Roof for many reasons. And that show, I would love to play Fuma Sarah, where she comes back. She comes out of the grave going, ooh, and just it's just scary and she's supposed
Operatic,
to
it
be
sounds.
scary, operatic, and
Hmm.
out of this world weird. She's supposed to
Well,
be
that,
scary because like what the heck is happening here? And
yeah.
that's all she does. And I love it.
Well, I mean, that works.
So
I wasn't sure how you were going to answer that because there's so many shows that you've seen that I haven't.
I I love I just love theater in general. So it's a lot of fun to my dream roles are hardly ever except for like Mrs. Lovett and Sweeney Todd.
Hmm.
That's a big one.
That's
But
what I thought you were going to answer with, actually.
but my my dream roles are those random off the wall like what the heck just happened kind of roles.
I understand
So
because
larger than life.
those are some of my favorite to watch you play is because I've seen several of your plays. I haven't seen them all, unfortunately, but I have seen several of them, and I'm always there to cheer you on when I
Mhm.
can be. Uh, but yeah, no, I was just so curious. I was like, what is the role above all roles, for you? I I've been asked several times. I'm gonna go ahead and answer this publicly. I've been asked several times, um, how many of the Hangman am I going to write? And I think I'm gonna end it on part four and be
Okay.
done. I wasn't ever going to get that many. I wanted just the first one. I wrote the first one, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to do another one. And then it was the whole writer's problem of what if?
Mhm.
As soon as that question hits your head, you're like, what if? And then you're like, that's going to bother me until I find out what if. And so I sat down and wrote part two. And I got into that, and I was like, well, I left it in a point where I could do a part three. And I was like, a couple of years later, I was like, okay, I'll write part three. And part three came to me so much quicker than part two, so much quicker. Like it came to me just like the first one did. Within just a few days, I was done. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah. And it's one of the longer ones as well. If I do go back and add any more scenes, it will be the longest one, guaranteed. But yeah, two was a little harder to write. Um, than one or three. One came to me in 4 days, and then a couple more days of refining it before we all read it. Adding some scenes and what have you, which you got to experience the new scenes. Which one of them is heartbreaking in retrospect. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think I'm going to end it on four. And I do not want to go past four because that's ridiculous. I do have other projects in mind
Okay.
that will be reading projects that I would love to have everyone, read more scripts and stuff. I think that's fun. And everyone seems to have a ball doing it. Like,
Yes.
I had so many people reach out to me and be like, I want to be part of it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll make a list. The problem is part three has less people than part two does.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a very limited cast for the most part, comparatively to two, part three does. And then I'm going to have to figure out where to go with four because I have an inkling of what I want to do, but I haven't fully, written it out or anything yet. So I don't know. I've got an idea of how to end it. I have the beginning. It's the middle fluff that I need to work out.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, that's good. Um, but yeah, I can't wait till the 16th is when we're doing part two.
Mhm.
I'm super excited about it. Uh, I've been like going over the script with the Kindle and Dustin, who each are coming back but not reprising their roles because spoilers, they didn't make it out of the first one. But so we do have some repeat actors, voice actors, I guess is what I'll call them, because some of them are off screen, like they don't want to be on screen, and that's perfectly fine. And then we have some newcomers, and that's going to be exciting.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah. Um, One of them being Alexis, which she hasn't said anything on the group chat yet, because she's rarely on Facebook, but she swears she'll be there for the reading, and she was super excited when I told her I had a role for her, and
Awesome.
she's like, "Yay!" And then I gave her the role of Rochelle, which is a counselor, and I just loved her response was, "Do I look like a counselor to you?" And I was like, "I mean, technically no, but you're acting. You get
Yeah.
it'll be fine." Um, and I once again put Amanda and Dustin together in a romantic entanglement, and that was completely by coincidence. I didn't think about it when I assigned roles. I was like, I did it again.
You did it
I'm type,
again.
I'm typecasting them by accident. Um, but no, everybody did such a spectacular job in the first one. I was just like, when it came to the second one, I was like, I know what roles I want everyone to play. You
Okay.
know, like I knew going into it that you were going to reprise Haley. Um, and I was like, because I even, talked to you about it. And because, I mean, she was written to be you. Might as well play you, you know.
Yeah, and kill everyone around me and torture me. This is great.
Welcome to
No,
being a
I
final
love
girl.
it. I love it.
Well, welcome to being a final girl. That's what happens. But yeah, I can't wait to get through part two, and then which we'll do November. I'm thinking part three will be sometime in December,
Okay.
and then I should be able to finish part four by before my birthday in January. So we'll
All
have
right.
we'll have all of them in a row. Which I'm writing a part specifically for Brenda because she requested to be part of it, even though she doesn't like scary movies. They're too scary.
I think
Um,
she'd have some fun though.
oh no, I think she'd have a lot of fun. I think so. And she asked, "Is there a part that I could play?" And I was just like, "Yes, there is." I was getting ready to write a part for an older woman anyway, so I was like, "That'll be perfect. I will
Perfect.
I will get I will get her." Yeah. So I guess we're out of questions. I'm just rambling at this point. Um,
Okay. Well, we can wrap this up here.
yeah, we can wrap this up. Um, but yeah, I hope everyone joins us for part two. I really do, and I hope everyone joins us for part three, and then when I get four done, to see how it ends because it's going to have an interesting ending.
Yes.
Yeah,
I bet it is.
Oh yeah, because I've been asked, where is this headed? Where is this headed? And I was like, you're gonna have to wait and see, because I know the ending that I want, but we'll see if we get there and what people think when they get to the end. Or they're gonna be like, oh my god, or they're gonna be like, what just happened? you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All
we will
right.
sign off.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.